Good morning, everybody. This is Lisa Lashendro. I am one of the annuity marketers here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and I'm excited to have you all with me this morning. Appreciate your time and joining us. We also have what we're going to be doing is talking about partial Roth conversions with American Equity, and we've got one of their experts, Joel Pulliam, on the line. Joel, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
So he's going to go over this in some great detail so that we all are walking away with this strategy in our back pocket. I love this subject because when I'm talking to a lot of my agents out there, there's not a lot of people that understand the strategy and are not given this option to clients. So once the clients are aware that this is even available out there in the world, they get pretty excited. So that makes me excited as well. With that, I'm going to get started. I do see some very familiar names, and for those that are joining me once again, welcome back. This is gonna be a little bit of a repeat for you. Those of you that are new, and I do see quite a few names here I don't recognize. So for you that are new to us here at IAMS, welcome, and I'll give you a little 10,000-foot view of all the goodies that you get working with us here. And with that, I'm gonna get started. Right out of the gate, when you contract with us here at IAMS, we have what's called our New Producer Builders Program. So for the first 6 months that you're writing business with us, you become one of these levels or another level up to, past $1 million. But what's nice about this is that we want to thank you for giving us a shot. We want to thank you for coming over, joining us here. We call ourselves the IAMS family because you really get that sense of family here. Um, and these are some examples of some of the goodies that you would get at one of these levels. So if you're at 100,000, in your first 6 months, you could get $750 in cash, or maybe some marketing emails or analysis, um, or up to $1 million, and obviously the pot just gets bigger. So Steve Murray, our president here, is a big fan of thinking outside the box. These are just examples of the things that you could utilize in your new producer bonus that you get with us here at IAMS. But definitely let your marketer know or let Steve know if there is something not listed here that would be more beneficial to you, because we don't want to waste your time or your money or our money on things that's not going to help you grow your business. And that's really what the goal there is. Next, we talk a little bit about referrals. I mean, referrals is a big deal in your business. It's a big deal in ours as well. So we want to make sure that we are thanking you for those referrals by giving you a slight override and some bonus money for those referrals. So if you do know somebody that would benefit in working with us here at IAMS, certainly let myself or your marketer know, or just give our office a call, and we'd be happy to take the reins from there. But keep us in mind for referrals. Next, I want to brag a bit about our back office support. This is one of the main reasons why folks love working with us here at IAMS, because we literally take care of you. We're your right hand, we're your secretary, we're your contracting person, we're your case manager, we're your case design person. We're the experts on all of those. So you can rest assured that you're going to be able to be doing what you do best. And what we want you to be doing is being in front of folks, being in front of clients, because that's really what your specialty is. So let us do all the legwork for you. Let us handle all that, waiting on the hold for carriers and all that jazz for you. Um, Anyone that you talk to working with us here at IAMS will vouch that our team is really the best out there to help you maintain your business and grow your business. So with that, excuse me, I do encourage everybody to get on our website, www.iamsinc.com, IAMSINC.com. Here you're going to find a lot of valuable information. We've got our sales resource library that I love to brag about. A lot of folks aren't aware that that's in there, but if you go to the support tab and then the sales resource library, there is a plethora of valuable information in there that could be anywhere from presentations, fact finders, one piece marketing or one pager marketing pieces for you to post on your social media or send out or use as a mailer. Um, we've got our online access for Firelight, which is my next slide actually. That's our e-app process to utilize for annuity apps. We also have an e-app process for life and DI. So definitely want to make sure that you have our website at your fingertips. Can't talk today. And save it on your browser. So www.imzinc.com. Next, I want to talk to you just a little bit about our creative marketing solutions. This is, again, that back office support. This is just part of it. We have these experts in-house. These are not people that we're using as vendors and we have to wait. I can literally walk to their office and ask them a question on stationery, logo design, web design, any of that. These guys are extremely talented. We're happy and proud to have them as part of our team to have available for our agents out there. So anything that you're looking um, for assistance on that end, definitely don't hesitate to let us know. Next, after working with IMS and you start having some production with us, we will grant you access to Retirement Analyzer. A lot of you folks are probably already aware of this. For those that haven't heard of this, this is a really nice software that's developed specifically for agents to show shortcomings of retirement, the impact that taxes are going to have at retirement, a lot of nice spreadsheets. So this is a lot of great tools and we're going to take care of the bill for you. So this is something that you're interested in, definitely let your marketer or myself know. Several years ago, Charles and Steve thought, what could we add? What could we possibly add that would be a valuable resource that we're not already offering? And that is our IMS Wealth Management team. They developed this to be everything that you could possibly need as far as growing your business. If you're looking at securities or wanting to be securities licensed, our IMS Wealth Management guys can certainly help you with that. If you have no desire to get registered or want to mess with FINRA or SEC or any of that jazz, don't worry. We have Zach here in our office that can help your clients with that securities business as well. And the cool thing about that is your clients are going to be staying in your backyard, so you don't have to refer them to, your neighbor across the street that's going to probably try to snag the rest of their fixed business. But if you do decide to ever get registered and licensed, then we will transfer those accounts right back to you once you're registered. So um, just showing you kind of, what we do to partner with you, not looking to take any of your clients whatsoever. We're just here so that you can keep your clients in your backyard and have full control over that. So if you have any questions, I am going to do a poll real quick. And if you would like more information on our IMS Wealth Management team, go ahead and complete that and I'll make sure that somebody gets out to you. Joel, where are you at? Are you in Des Moines?
I sure am. Des Moines, Iowa.
Did you guys get heavy winds last night?
Oh boy, did we. Yeah, we had quite the storms last night.
We did too. I don't know. Us here in the Midwest, folks, I know we've got people all over the map here on our call today, but some crazy storms, high winds, 70-mile-per-hour winds here. Crazy. Well, it looks like everybody's
Yeah, we got
voted. Oh, go ahead.
My unimportant. I was just going to say the only thing that happened was our grill fell over. So that was it.
Well, my snowman were gone, so not happy. All right, little side story there. We'll keep going here. We do have our top producer summit that is you got still time to qualify for. So don't feel like you're too late to the party here. We're doing qualifications until June of next year in 2022. It takes 4.5 million to qualify, but we're pulling out all the stops on this trip, guys. It is a Mediterranean cruise. We're going to Rome, Italy. Let's see, there's 8 stops, guys, 8 stops. So this is definitely in my opinion, one of the best trips I've ever seen IMS do. So if you have any questions on qualifying for this or where you might stand on qualifying for this, just give your marketer a call and we'd be happy to go over that with you. Next, we have our Life and Annuity Academy, and you may have heard people rave about this, but we just had our last one, I believe, was in end of September, beginning of October. And this is a 2-day training that IMS takes care of the whole bill. We pay for your transportation, hotel, food, drink, it all. And you get to sit in a room with other successful advisors, learning what's working and what's not working out there and walking away with tools to be able to grow your business. So this is something that we usually get a waiting list on. You can go on to our website and register for the next academy. So we have your name on the list, and then we can reach out to you to, give you details or answer any questions there too. So if you have any questions before you're able to talk to someone, don't hesitate to just call the office. We have the 1-800 number. Just one number is all we have. We don't have voicemail or anything like that. We have a 2-ring guarantee. So you are going to talk to a live body. You don't have to push 2 to get to me. You're going to get a live body every time you call. So I like that too. Next, I encourage you all to like us on Facebook and LinkedIn and follow us on those social media pages. We do like to keep you in the loop and with very credible material that you can share, like, or use for your own knowledge. But with that, hopefully it wasn't too long and painful for you guys that had to and I appreciate your time on that. I'm going to pass my screen over to Mr. Joel, and I'm going to let him get into the goods with you guys. All right, Joel,
All right.
I see you.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much for that. That was really cool to learn. I haven't had much experience with IMS myself, so that was really cool. And I really encourage you all to take advantage of all those resources. That was really fun to listen to. And I'm going to see if Whitney could potentially be gone in August of next year so I can go on that cruise. That would be wonderful. But I really appreciate you all having me on the call today. Like I said, Whitney is typically going to be your rep that you meet with here. But my name is Joel Pulliam. I am also a business development specialist. So essentially, I'm an internal wholesaler here at American Equity. I've been here for just shy of 3 years. March will actually be my 3rd year. Before that, I spent about 6 years in the staffing industry, both on the recruitment and on the sales and account management side. So funny enough, I actually got to work with American Equity back in 2016 when they were first hitting like a real big growth phase and they needed some help getting some customer service folks in the door. I cannot imagine an easier sale than that. Everyone in Des Moines, Iowa wants to work at American Equity. It has had such a great reputation. And so that's where it really first hit home with me that if an opportunity ever came up at American Equity, I need to take it. And 3 years ago, that opportunity came up and we didn't miss. I had to make sure we got it. And this company treats its employees so well, which is why when you call in, you get someone who actually wants to help you. And not only that, but you're going to get a live human on the phone, hopefully in 90 seconds. That's always our goal is 90 seconds. Now we're human and things happen on Mondays, especially. Everybody's calling after the weekend, but our goal is to get a live human on the phone with you in 90 seconds and get that thing resolved. So just a very unique company here. We're 100% owned and operated here in the United States. When you call in, you're getting somebody in West Des Moines, Iowa. So very, very unique. And then also in how we handle our wholesaling model. Like I mentioned, Whitney will typically be your rep. I handle much more of the South Central United States and the accounts in that area. So we are broken up regionally instead of account-based like our competitors out there. So we like to come into your offices and meet with you. It's probably the favorite part of my job, and then doing things like this. And then just to move forward on what makes us different, our subject today, and I heard Lisa mention this in her presentation, the effect of taxes in retirement. So how can we mitigate that tax effect on your retirement dollars? Well, one major way is to use partial Roth conversions. So American Equity is really unique in the way that we handle partial Roth conversions. First off, we allow them. A lot of companies don't even allow this. It's all or nothing. But we do allow them, and then our competitors that do have partial Roth conversions typically make you start a brand new contract and a new surrender. At American Equity, that is not the case. You basically continue on with the same benefits of the initial contract, and I'll go through that here in a little bit. So
And
this really won't take long,
I
guys.
don't mean
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to, sorry to interrupt you, but I do want to
you're
encourage
fine.
you all to chat in any questions or comments that you have as he's moving along here. We are going to have some time to have discussions. We definitely like to encourage this to be an open conversation. So Joel gave me permission to interrupt him at any time so that he can go over any particular questions or things that you have. So please use that question box as we move along here.
Yes, please do. Thank you for bringing that up because I have the tendency to just keep going. So please chat in those questions and interrupt me. I love to talk about American Equity. So let's go to the first part of this here. There we go. All right. So why even do a Roth conversion, right? What's important about it? Well, we just look at the two differences there. Typically an FIA, when you have a traditional IRA, it's tax deferred, which already by itself is a huge selling point, right? Having that tax deferral. Well, with a Roth IRA, it's non-taxable. You've already gone through that process. So when going through why that's important in a Roth conversion, a lot of my agents, I just have them ask the client straight up, do you think taxes are going to go up, down, or stay the same? And I think the most optimistic person would maybe say stay the same, but even most real people know it's going to go up. Taxes are going up at some point. So how can we mitigate that when it comes to your retirement dollars? Well, let's just peel off pieces of that we can afford the taxes on right now and turn it into a Roth. And this guy runs across the screen. I'm not sure why. So let's look at an example here. All right. So this is Andrew. Maybe he goes by Drew, age 60, white collar guy. All right. He's made good money in his career, married. He has 2 adult children. All right. In the next 5 years, he thinks he's going to retire. So we got to look at his tax bracket. That's really important. So again, he's done well for himself. He's somewhere in that 170K to 326K. So he's got a 24% tax rate there. His goal, his big priorities is he wants lower taxable income. When he's in retirement, he either wants to have none or very little taxable income. He also wants to secure those non-taxable distributions, and also to his beneficiaries, he wants to be able to leave a non-taxable income for them as well. So let's start these partial Roth conversions and let's look at the steps. First thing he has to do, he's got to meet with one of you all. He's got to meet with a financial planner. And then I can't stress this part enough, and maybe a lot of you have this involved in your practice already, but they've got to meet with a tax professional. Make sure this is something they can handle, something they should do. And after that, once he's made that decision, you know what? Step 2, Roth conversions are exactly the right thing for me. So in this example, we've got a $100,000 IRA. We're going to start converting just pieces of that every year. So we're going to peel off 20 grand every year and put that into a Roth. So what happens next? Every time we do that, he'll receive a 1099-R in January that'll show that conversion, as well as a 5498 mid-year that will show that it was converted to a Roth. So visually, let's put this out there. So we had $100,000 to start in an IRA. Year one, we peel off 20,000 and we put it in the Roth. So your first question might be, well, how can you put it in a separate account and not start anything over? Well, here's basically how we do it. So over here on the left side, the IRA side, the white side here, that $100,000 is in policy number 12345, let's say. As soon as we peel that first 20,000 off and put it in the Roth, it is policy number 12345R. We just throw the letter R on the end of it. And so that way it can still mirror all the benefits of the initial contract. It is basically the same contract. It's just our way of tracking those Roth funds. And so every year they stick to that 20 grand and they peel it off and put into that Roth until at the end of 5 years, they have now a fully funded Roth conversion. And what they did here is they spread out that tax liability over 5 years instead of doing it all at once. Now, the big thing here is, again, like I said, they spread it out over 5 years. They didn't have to do it all at once. But notice the amounts as well. So a big question I get is, well, do I have to stick to either, the 10%, or will I get hit by the IRS penalty? As long as you're not withholding any taxes from the conversion, which, theoretically is kind of the point of all this, is that you can afford the taxes from a different source. As long as you're not withholding any taxes, there are no limits on how much you can convert, because it's not technically a distribution. Nothing is leaving American Equity. Everything's staying with us. It is simply a conversion. Now, if you do withhold taxes, I know some people, they just want to withhold the taxes from the conversion. You do then have to be careful about exceeding the 10% penalty-free withdrawals. And also, if you're before age 59 and a half, you would then potentially get some IRS penalties as well. But as long as you're not doing any of that and you're just converting and paying the taxes from another source, there are no limits here, and you won't be dinged by the IRS. So couldn't be easier to do Roth conversions with us. All right. So I would really encourage you to talk to your clients about this. It's becoming a bigger and bigger conversation. Anytime an election comes around, it seems like this comes up. But more and more, as we move forward, it seems like taxes are going to go up. So it's a very important conversation to have with your clients on, is this the right move? So some things to look at here, it will obviously create a taxable event, whether you do the full or the partial. And just so you know, to do a Roth conversion with us, it's the same form, whether you're doing full or partial. There's just a checkbox there that you can tick either or. I already mentioned a little bit ago that the 1099-R and the 5498, those will be distributed once the Roth conversion happens. Distributions can be taken after 59 and a half or 5 years after the Roth conversion, whichever is longer. It cannot be recharacterized. I don't know anyone who would do this anyway, but you cannot go back once you've converted to Roth. It is stuck to being a Roth. And then I mentioned this just a moment ago, if before age 59 and a half, withholding taxes from that conversion could create that 10% early distribution penalty. So again, I strongly, strongly recommend visiting with a tax professional to make sure they can handle those taxes from another source so they don't get dinged that way. And then another thing just to consider, RMDs cannot be converted into a Roth. So that is everything I have. I told you this would be quick. It's a huge, huge benefit though. So are there any questions that anyone has right now? I'd be happy to answer them.
Not at this time. I mean, I think you did a really good job explaining how easy this is. I mean, a lot of folks try to overcomplicate it and think, well, then they start a new policy, they start a new surrender. No, this is really cut and dry. It's a one-page form that, you would complete just like you're going to take a withdrawal, a 10% withdrawal or something like that. It's going to be the same form, or you're just going to check the box to do a percentage or a certain amount that you want to convert for the client.
Yep.
I wanted to also maybe point out a couple of the products. Joel, do you mind touching up on any of that? Just want to make sure
Yeah.
they know like how much access they have. I mean, I believe it's in your products, isn't it?
Correct. All of our products, except for the most recent, Flex Shield is the name of that product. And the only reason, it's not that it won't ever, it's just we're using a new system for Flex Shield. It was kind of our entrance into this new system we're using. Once we get that figured out, Flex Shield will also allow partial Roth conversion. So it's not a policy issue, it's a system issue. But all of our other products, so Income Shield, Asset Shield, Estate Shield, even the old Gold Series, guys. So if you have some older policies, those all can still do Roth conversions. And if you're wondering why we've never talked about it before, kind of until the last couple of years, we didn't know how unique we were in the industry. We thought everybody did it this way. And the reason they don't is because it's a very manual process. I'll be honest, it is a service nightmare. So a lot of companies choose not to do it. But we think it's the right way to do it, to offer this for your clients. So all of our products offer it. I'll talk about a couple. I really want to talk about Income Shield. The reason being creating that completely tax-free retirement income for your client. I have a guy down in Texas. This is what he sells entirely on. Guaranteed income, no taxes. So they'll, whether it's an IRA or whatever they do to start with us, the plan going in is, hey, we are going to start partial Roth conversions with American Equity because no one else has it easier. So every year, whether it's 100,000 or 500,000, doesn't matter. They'll go over it every year. How much in taxes can we afford? And they'll do that conversion. And then by the time they retire, completely tax-free, whether they pass away and leave that to their heirs, or they get to take that income and again, now no longer have to worry about the tax burden. So Income Shield is a really strong product for this, for that exact reason. But Asset Shield is our accumulation product. So Asset Shield is no income rider, okay? So it is pure accumulation, very high participation rates. And recently, this year, we actually added a feature where if your client would like, they could pay a fee and kind of buy up some more rate if they would like. It's not required, still strong rates with no fee, but we gave them some more options there. If they're willing to pay a fee, they can buy up some more rate. And on that product, we allow 10% penalty-free withdrawals, just like all of our products. But on Asset Shield, it really comes into play because there's no income rider. So that 10% penalty-free is how your client can kind of create this income stream from that product. And by doing Roth conversions there, you can see how, again, that would be beneficial to get those distributions tax-free. So all of our products
That's
allow
a
it.
flexible
So,
premium product too, as well, isn't it?
yep, Income Shield and Asset Shield are both a 100% flexible premium, meaning you can add at any time and not start a new surrender.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, how would that affect if they, wanted to add, could they choose if they wanted to add qualified or non-qualified money, or how would that work with the Roth conversion?
Yeah, so that's the part of the reason of giving the designation of, I gave the example of policy 12345 and then policy 12345R. So they would have to say, we want to make this Roth distribution, contribution to 12345R. So they'd have to specify the R. Whereas if they wanted to make it to the other side of the contract, again, just specify just the 12345.
So again, we're just giving the client a lot more freedom, a lot more options as
Mm-hmm.
the life changes or they receive some inheritance or something like that that they want to add in on this. I mean, they really do have free reign here. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and those are our two bread and butter products. So again, that's Income Shield for guaranteed income that your client will never outlive. And it's a 100% flexible premium. You can do Roth conversions. And then Asset Shield is our big accumulation product. They can pay a fee or not pay a fee, doesn't matter to us. And again, 100% flexible premium. We do have two other newer products. They are not flexible premium. So the Estate Shield is more of a, an estate planning type product, leaving a legacy or having increasing income later in life because it's a 10-year deferral. And then Flex Shield is our brand new product. And that is really more to compete with the RILA market. So you can choose these floor options and access higher rates and caps. So it's a very interesting product that requires a webinar all on its own. So I don't want to get too much into that, but I've never felt like we had a more full product offering than we do right now. And not to mention our customer service is second to none. So
That's
again, I
important.
really thank you all for your time today. If there's any more questions, I'm happy to stay on. But again, I really appreciate your time today.
Well, we appreciate you as well, and thanks for joining us. I am going to launch another poll here. If you've got clients that you're thinking of right now, jot their names down or whatnot. I'll be following up with y'all, and we can go over some scenarios or, maybe even some illustrations. We can get you contracting going. So if you want any of that, um, and of course, I'm going to be sending some material around that Joel's going to hand over to me here. So I appreciate you on that too, Joel. So um, just hit yes or no here if you've got, somebody in mind that we need to maybe discuss sooner than later, and we'll go from there. Again, Joel, I appreciate you covering up for Miss Whitney. We'd love to have you here anytime you want. So there's an open door policy here at IAMS.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'd love to. Like I said, that trip, I'm on my way.
And there you go. You're not far away. But with that, again, I'm going to let everybody go for the use of time. I appreciate everyone joining us again, and I'll be in touch with you all shortly, and probably in the next day or two. If you do need something else, just give our office a call at the 800-255-5055, and have a great rest of their day. Thanks, everyone.